Well, it's August on the plot. Been a while. The plot does look little sorry state, but it's been a long time since we've done a plot tour. It's August just about still, bank holiday weekend. Go and have a look. Well, everything's looking a little bit sorry for itself, even though it is August. Had a few bouts of illness, which has prevented me from coming down as much and keeping on top of things. Hopefully not too dispiriting, but I think it's important to show, if you do end up having a bit of a break from the allotment, what you can expect in terms of tidying up and getting things back into a manageable state. So we'll show August before I do a serious tidy up over this bank holiday weekend. Things that have worked well, the remaining beetroots, we'll show those in a minute. I'd really appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up, just to give a bit of oomph to try and keep things going. I've been noticing that the videos have been not getting as many views and not possibly getting pushed around much as you'd hope. So if you really could maybe watch another one of the videos, maybe see what things look like on the plot this time last year in August. Maybe if you want to have a look at one of the tool reviews, we've got the Homey hand tool review, we've got the Wolf cultivator as well. I may actually do another video on the Wolf cultivator over this weekend when I get things tidied up and you can see that in action again. So really welcome your support. Just give the video a thumbs up. Maybe go and watch one of the old videos as well if you've got a spare 5-10 minutes, and help support the channel that way. Cheers. So I said I'd show it warts and all, and that is one very warty part of the patch. I really do need to get this sorted out. It's gone completely the pot. It's not necessarily that bad, apart from things like some of the, I've actually got some free raspberries from next door's plot. There's a bramble there which does need tackling, but it's thankfully not too bad, but does need tackling this year. I don't want to get these raised beds, you can just about see them still, which was in the old polytunnel. I do want to get this second raised bed on this side built as well. It's sort of like nursery stage to try and get some brassicas started next year and get them transplanted out. But yeah, really do need to get this under control. It's not too bad. Some of the grass is going to seed now, but there's not a lot I can do about that. And there's an old man's beard or something. That stuff there is quite shallow rooted, so that can come out. Yeah, not looking great. Gonna try and get as much of this cleared as possible, and the compost bin. And this was, just getting overflown from that. It's not that bad. There is some weed fabric under there, keeping it under control to some extent. Another failure is the outdoor tomatoes. I really don't think it's worth doing outdoor tomatoes again next year. These, whatever the variety this is, has stood pretty well. It's like a maybe Tigrella, based on what they look like. But yeah, we'll get these out. They're just, completely gone now. Cherry ones over there, we may have got a few, but no, we'll be best to clear that. It shouldn't be too bad. Again, there's some, weed fabric just under there, which will keep things under control a little bit. Yeah, so tomatoes, not good again. I really don't think I'll bother doing outdoor tomatoes again next year, unless I've got a polytunnel. Kind donations from any polytunnel companies are welcome. If you want to sponsor a video of me putting one up and actually doing a proper job this time with a decent polytunnel. Only need a small one for this back end of the plot. What has done well is the saved seed of the gigantas. As you can see here, these are drying off, so we'll get these harvested. Something's been having a munch at them. possibly wood lice, but there's some here still. And yeah, they're drying off nicely, so we'll get a half decent supply off those. Borlotti, again, not doing too bad. Decent sized pods here. They're looking pretty nice, so we'll get a small harvest off those, mainly just for probably saving seed for next year. But yeah, they do need to get this bit under control. We've got the Brassica cage, which has done great. We've had plenty of cabbages off here, and we've harvested some of the Cavolo Nero, as you can see. But again, weeds. This was, I think, the compost I dragged over from the composting in place video, and yeah, the seed bank that was left in that was awful. So I'm thinking some of these I've got some kale planted at home, and we'll keep those going over winter. But this bed I'm going to probably clear off and cover over before manuring properly with this year. We're not going to grow a lot over the winter. But yeah, some stuff's not done too bad, so I think we'll get the cover off, give it a weed, and there's some stuff in here which hasn't done too bad. I think that's kalettes down there, and they look pretty nice. So, or it's red kale. Yeah, so not too bad. We've had some good cabbages and kale and stuff. I've been able to get down and harvest a bit. There's one over here. That's a nice, could be a kalette. Big and stocky, whatever it is. Some of these are just lovely. Again, the kale, we had some nice kale off these. There's a few cabbages over there, but mostly had kale and a few small cabbages. Yeah, so that's the Brassica cage. Well, thanks for watching today. I hope it's not been too disheartening to see the plot in the condition it is, but I think it's important to show it when it's just the reality of it, really. You do get into a stage sometimes where you can't keep on top of it. And I think it's probably only worthwhile and honest to show that this is the plot as I keep it, and you know, if yours gets like this, then it's not too difficult a job to get it back in hand. Like I say, fingers crossed we'll be able to get a bit more on top of it, and it'll look a bit more productive with some plants at least for overwintering. Maybe some, you know, salad crop, a few wintry lettucey kind of things, and some chard, which always keeps over winter not too bad, apart from the last winter when we had that massive cold spell. But shouldn't hopefully have as cold a winter this year if we're lucky. Parsnips were a failure here. There are a few, not many though. There's a few, might tidy up and sort of just leave the ones that are in place. Nice harvest of beetroot still. And we'll get some chard planted at home. The rest of this bed, again, I'm thinking of just basically covering the whole thing in manure this winter. Very damp and grey and slightly, you know, gone off really, the plot, unfortunately. Yeah, once you kind of take the, like for here for example, we've harvested the broad beans, they've all come out, the potatoes came out, and this bed's not actually too bad in terms of weeds, so I think we're going to cover some parts but not others. This one we may keep open, try and get a few bits in the ground, you know, some chard, maybe a line of turnips or something. Again, this one, which was the onion bed, we kind of harvested what we had that wasn't affected by the white rot, like one small bag at the house of onions which we'll keep. So again, this might be one that we'll cover up or get manured over, so that we don't have, you know, tons of weeding to do. I want to try and get in control of this as soon as possible, really, before it gets completely out of hand. And then lastly, the front bed doesn't look too bad. We've got, we'll obviously keep this one going over winter though, because we've got a row of leeks here. Some have failed down there though, so we've got 3 rows, and for some reason, because I think this was a bed last year, if you watched the video for this point last year, we had onions in this front bed before I moved them across to this bed, and again there was white rot in this one. So we're gonna maybe struggling even with the leeks with white rot possibly, I don't know. Again, we've got some pretty healthy looking beetroot. Again, I've said it once before, but we never struggled growing beetroot on this plot. The size of that, that's a lovely looking beetroot. So I may take a few of those home. And then the very front row here, got a few Borlotti, again, probably put in a little bit too late. Not really going to do much, I don't think. This one here, we may get a few on before the end of the year. But no, it's just either struggling with fertility or weeds are difficult to keep hold up, on top of. But no, it's not. It looks bad from this side of things. But yeah, a lot to tidy up at the back. A lot of weeding to do. I think part of the problem is that I can't get to the compost bins easily, and they haven't got very good fronts on them to actually compost in a decent amount of good way. So I'm going to measure the fronts and get some boards together to slot in so we can actually start composting these weeds, because they should compost down. This will have some weeds to some extent, but the hotter we can get it, the better they'll clear off the weed seeds and get some fertility before we get some manure on. A bit of cleaning to do. It's not, as I say, watch it for warts and all. I think it's, some people have got plots that, well, I don't have the time to devote that much to be able to come down every single day, or, come down as much as I can, do as much as I can when I'm here. But like you say, it's just a question of getting the time to put an hour aside to clear up, get on top of it. This is the reality of owning an allotment. It gets in this state every now and again. You've got to do what you can to clear it, and also you're going to have failures and some successes in your harvests. It's just the reality of it. All you can do is your best, and hope you maybe get a little bit of inspiration from this, because even when it does get like this, it will bounce back. A lot of it will die back as the temperatures start getting a bit colder. So plans going forward next month, clear what we can, cover some of it. I think we'll leave a couple of beds open. This one here, we'll probably harvest the beetroot, cover the rest. This one we might leave open. This one we'll weed and cover. The one at the front we'll probably keep as is, as far as we can, with those leeks. A lot of tidying up to do on top of it. But gotta do what you gotta do. Thanks for watching today. If you liked it, I'd be grateful if you give the video a thumbs up, like I mentioned earlier. If you haven't subscribed already, then press the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified next time we've got a video out. And thanks for coming along this month, and we'll get one set up for next month's tour too. So thanks for watching. Bye.